Being a Christian YouTuber asks us to acquire a ton of skills, and it can feel overwhelming. But you know one way that you can instantly become a better creator? Make amazing thumbnails. Yes, my friends, thumbnails. Every creator has a love-hate relationship with that tiny little photo that contains all of your brilliance. So we're gonna do a nice talk through tutorial for making amazing thumbnails in 5 steps. Hey, I'm Tiffany Bird Harrison of TrueFam Media, and thumbnails is something that I am incredibly passionate about because it can make or break your video. Now, we know that content is king, but marketing is queen, and she will say, off with your head. Just kidding. But your ability to attract or repel clicks using your thumbnail can really cut your video off at its knees. So the first step is to plan your thumbnail when you write your script or outline. Now that might seem kind of early, but it is so helpful. If you know what your general thumbnail idea is going to be, then you can go into your recording and match the energy of your content with that visual element. So we have a video on writing an easy script or outline for your content that I will link at the end of the video. So we're going to use a tool called Canva.com. It is a free tool for those of us who do not have the graphic design skills for Photoshop that want to make high quality social media appropriate posts in record time. I'm just going to type right at the top here, YouTube thumbnail. And what I love about Canva is that it has so many options for different types of templates, whether you have an Instagram style post, Facebook post, and it already has the dimensions that you need. So you can see on this page, it has a ton of templates that you can use. If you want to start with one of these, that's great. I want to do this tutorial with a blank thumbnail. So we're going to start with that. So I'm going to click create a blank YouTube thumbnail. And right away, you're gonna see that we are in the studio and we have a ton of tools here on the left-hand side, as well as an ability to rename it, to resize it if we needed to, etc. I wanna decide which photos I wanna use on my thumbnail. Clicking uploads, and then you can click upload media. And so here I can upload from my Facebook, my Google Drive, my Instagram, my Dropbox. I'm just gonna upload a picture from device, so I'm gonna click the device button. And I'm gonna go into some photos that I took for thumbnails. Now here's a game changer for any of you that's watching. So I tend to take one sitting and shoot a ton of different expressions, a ton of different looks, or just facial expressions so that I have ones to choose from when I go to record. And that way I don't have to retake it for every single video. So I'm just gonna look at a couple of these. I've got, let's see, Blue Denim Shots has some great ones in it. I like this a lot. Okay. So now it's uploading my picture, and then when I click it, I can just add it right to the design phase. So Canva lets it so that I can resize it just by clicking and dragging on the side. We've got a picture filling the thumbnail, and I technically could just write some words in this blank space here, but we're gonna take it a step further. So I'm gonna resize it down. If you have the Canva free, account, then you won't have this feature embedded. But if you have Canva Pro, which I will put an affiliate link down in the description box so you can sign up for a 30-day free trial, you can actually use an effect. I'm gonna go on effects here, and you can use an effect called background remover, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to remove the background of this photo. So I just wanna make sure that I've got my full head as much as I can get in here. And then I'm going to click background remover, and it's gonna do its thing. There are options with websites like remove.bg or capwing.com where you can actually upload a picture and remove the background for free. The only deal is that it may decrease the quality of the photo, so just be aware of that. Faces are really good for thumbnails. The human psychology, it has been proven over and over again that people really like to see pictures of other people. So putting your face in your thumbnail as much as possible is really, really helpful. But if you have maybe a faceless channel or a product review, you just want to make sure that you're composing your shots around whatever the subject of the video is. So I love this one because it's a ridiculous expression and it really helps kind of capture the YouTube face, as we call it, right? That face of like the Home Alone or the Macaulay Culkin style thing. So I'm going to use that here, and I'm going to make the background something vibrant, something that'll get people's attention. So what I want to do is I want to go right here, click on background, and they have all kinds of backgrounds. If I wanted to use like a landscape style background or something that would put me in a different scene, I could totally do that. And that kind of looks outer worldly and like, whoa, style background. And these are all for free inside of Canva. There's many of them that you can use that you don't have to pay anything for, especially if you have the Canva Pro account. I like this one where I feel like I'm in the middle of an art piece. But I'm gonna go with something kind of simple. I'm gonna use a gradient. And I'm gonna change the color of this because Canva gives you lots of options to customize. I'm gonna change the color of this to more of a blue, maybe a purple. Yeah, I like that a lot. High quality photos, guys. We wanna make sure that we're not using grainy or like low quality photos. There's no excuse because you have a smartphone that can take an amazing photo as long as it's well lit and composed well. So try to get clear, clutter-free photos that you can use. The next thing I want to do with this is saturate these colors. I want myself to kind of almost look a little unnatural because you got to remember the thumbnail is going to be small on people's phones or if they're scrolling through their feed and they're looking for something to watch. So I want to draw their attention. So I'm going to go up here. I can use a filter and you can play around with different filter types, something that you want to use. I really like the solar one. I think that gives me the most vibrancy. So I tend to use that a lot. But if you didn't want to do that, you can also adjust it with these dials. And they're really simple to use. You don't have to be a wizard to kind of look at something and go, okay, I'm going to lighten it up there. Maybe I'm just going to add a little saturation. If you want to get fancy, you can make it a color of some kind. I'm just going to make sure that filter, the solar filter, is on there because I like that. It's vibrant enough. Just going to bring these arms in a little bit so I have some room. And so we've got this person here now. She's looking pretty lonely. There's nothing on the screen. So now I want to add just a couple of words. If you are loving the tips so far, make sure you smash that like button and let me know down below, what are your favorite thumbnail elements or features that you've seen from other creators? Describe them so that we can go and check them out. Words or no words? And this is going to be a somewhat controversial opinion, but sometimes you don't need words in your thumbnails. I know that we are just like, we want to make sure people get it, but we don't want to talk down to our audience. Sometimes if we tell a story that's compelling enough in the thumbnail, we don't even need words. I like to use the rule of 5 to 7 words at most on your thumbnail. It's not duplicating. It's echoing the title, which means you don't have to have whatever the title of your video is be the thumbnail title. It can be different things. You want them to be siblings, not twins, right? So I'm gonna take a text. I wanna get a text that's gonna be clear. They give you some options here that are already like detailed and kind of put together. I don't think I wanna use any of these ones. So I'm going to just go ahead, I'm gonna add a heading and I'm gonna type in mind-blowing thumbnails. Let's make mind-blowing thumbnails. Yeah. And I'm going to change this to a color. And what's cool is I can add some font to the typeface. They give you all these effects. You can do things like shadow where I can make it kind of pop off the screen. So I'm going to use that because I like that. Just going to bring up these dials a little bit to make it look a little more natural. And yeah, I think that works. The only thing I might want to change is I might want to give this a little pop of something just to make it stand out. Speaking of mind-blowing, we do have a free live stream masterclass on what our video creation process is here at TrueFam on July 10th. And we would love it if you signed up with the link down below, truefammedia.com/stay-connected to get details about that. Make it pop, okay? I love doing things with the thumbnail, like, blurring out the photo backdrop or oversaturating something, over sharpening, but my favorite feature by far is the classic YouTube outline that pops the subject of the thumbnail at you. We're going to duplicate this. So I'm going to use the Command D on a Mac, Ctrl D, right, on a Windows. And now I've got 2 of the exact same photo. And so I'm going to focus on this back photo here. So I'm going to move her out of the way so you can see her. Just in focusing on this back photo, right, I'm going to go ahead and go to the tool that Canva has called duotone. So I'm coming here in effects and you see they've got some filters, they got a smart mockup. Here's the duotone. So it doesn't matter which one you click. I'm going to click this one. It's going to do its thing. Then I'm going to click again to get the controls and it's showing me which colors that they're doing the duotone on. So if you're ever like wanting to use different colors, it will turn it the way that you pick. But I want this to really like pop. So I'm going to use yellow and then I'm going to turn the other color also yellow. And now I've got this outline of sorts, but it's not quite done. I want to adjust it so it looks a little more natural. So I click on the adjust tab and I'm going to move the blur slider so that it looks a little more glowy. So this is going more sharpening. This is the glowy way. So now I've got kind of a glow, so I'm gonna keep it kind of soft. And then I'm gonna drag my original picture right on top. Okay, and you see how it's kind of giving me that outline figure, but it's not quite big enough. I wanna make it a little bit bigger. So I'm just gonna enlarge it just ever so slightly, drag it down. And now I've got a nice little outline. So you can do this with a white outline. You can do this with less blurring if you want it to be really sharp. Let's try that a little bit, just get it less sharp. So I'm gonna go back and reset it. And now I've got this where I've got this really cool, and you just wanna kind of match it up with the one in front of it. So now I've got this thumbnail. I like it. I might make some little tweaks, so I'll put that time lapse in for you guys because I never finish with just one iteration of a thumbnail. I like to make 1, 2, maybe 3 different versions and kind of do a little A/B testing, or I'll send it to a couple of friends and just say, hey, does this thumbnail stand out to you? What are your thoughts? And so I really want you to be totally cool with like trying a couple different ones, you know, and you really want to spend time on your thumbnails. I'm not saying you have to do this. I typically spend anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes on one thumbnail because I believe it's so important. But if you're finding that you're doing your thumbnails in 2-3 minutes as an afterthought, then you really want to start to dial in on thumbnail theory and understanding that, which we'll talk more about in a later video. I really want to encourage you to watch a video here about losing confidence on YouTube. Trust me, you're going to go even further on this platform if you can catch the mindset piece. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.